Man Mark 6 Maquette by Sideshow Collectibles. Actually, Legacy Effects are the ones who made this piece, and I guess that Sideshow Collectibles were the ones who manufactured or produced it. Now, this is the Mark 6 armor, and it can be seen in the movie Iron Man 2, towards the end of it, and it's one of my favorite armors from the movies. It has this iconic red color, and the triangle chest light here, which is very unique for this specific armor, the Mark 6. And yeah, as you can see here, it's got all these iconic red colors, and there's these gold areas as well, most noticeable on his upper arms here and on his upper legs here. And as you can see, the light up effects is really good. He has light ups on his hands and on his chest and eyes here. And yeah, it's a really nice piece. You could say that today, I'm gonna show you the back side of him later in this video. But anyways, you can say that today this is one of the very important grail pieces when it comes to Iron Man collectibles. At least when it comes to pieces made by Sideshow, which I find to be the very best Iron Man collectibles available. And yeah, this is definitely one of my most prized possessions, because I really love the movies. I love how they've chosen Robert Downey Jr. for the role as Tony Stark and Iron Man, and I just like the armor and the style and designs that they have shown in the movies so far are just amazing, I think. So I always had a dream that I wanted to get this piece, and I think it's almost a year ago now that I got this one, during the summer last year, 2013. And yeah, I bought him from a nice guy in Miami, and now he's in Denmark, this piece, so it's seen more of the world than I have almost. So yeah, but I'm really happy now to have him in my collection, because this is just a very, very awesome statue, I think. Now I'm just gonna zoom in and show you the front and back of this piece, and the details of the armor and the paint job. So let's just jump right in and get on with it. 2 seconds. Alright guys, here we go. Now as you can see, the paint application is really nice. You have these deep red metallic colors as well as the gold one. Now they probably aren't that true to the movie in some ways, but it really looks convincing, and you do have a rather deep and metallic looking red color, and I think that's one of the most important things. Of course the gold color is also important. You can see how that really makes a difference when it comes to the life-size pieces, the busts. I know there's been a lot of heated debate on the forums and on Facebook in terms of the Mark 7 life-size bust, with the gold face area not being as metallic and as true to the movies that you would hope. But luckily, when it comes to these quarter scale pieces, I find that it's not equally as important that the gold areas and the red, for that matter, are that precise, because you will be seeing them from a distance and you won't be up close. They won't have the same impact on you when you walk into a room, because they are smaller and you have to walk up close to them anyways to really get in the details. So in my opinion, the red colors here are really good, and the gold as well. We have some areas that have some battle damage. Now I'm gonna turn him around. I don't know how sharp this is, because the focal or the depth of the video might not be perfect, but I hope you can get a sense of him anyway. And I know he's a little on the left side of the video now, but as you can see, you have these very fine details of the armor here on the back. His wing flaps and all those are all closed, but you can really see that they are flush and really nicely sculpted in here. And there are some minor battle damage going on the shoulder, as you can see on his shoulder here on the left here. Yeah, it looks really nice, I think, and the paint application is very nicely applied in the sense that it is flat and equal. It's not there aren't some areas that are cluttered and you can't tell any pencil strokes or anything like that, so it's really nicely applied, I think. Now I'm gonna turn him like this now, and now you can really see his, well, straight towards his face here, because I want to raise one issue with him, and I know, well, most of you probably already have read or heard about this, because one of the things that is plaguing this piece is his jaw here. Now, I would say that in this instance it's not that bad, but I don't know if you can tell, but on his left side here, the right side for us, you can see how his jaw is kind of falling a little down. Yeah, it's dropping down somehow, and you can tell in the lines of the gold here and the black color, which is separating the gold area from the red area. Now this is an issue that is pretty much common to all of the pieces that's been made. I'm not sure if it's on every single piece, but it's on most of the pieces that I've seen, and I've seen some pieces that had it even worse than this. Because to be honest, I hardly notice this, and I never really think of it, because, well, the way the statue has been sculpted, you are looking at him from the other side, so you won't notice this very often. Now the problem is probably that when this statue was sculpted, or whatever they did with it, it's like the jaw connected to the shoulder area, and they just really got close to each other and just started hugging each other, and that means that the jaw kind of drops down a little on the side here. But the most important thing for me is that the mouth area and all that is just flat and not being crooked as well. And in my opinion, that is the case here, so it looks really fine to me, I think. Especially with the lights on, by the way, that looks awesome. So, well, that's one of the major things about this piece that people are complaining about, and I fully understand why they do that, because it's a fair complaint. And it's very different from piece to piece how severe it is, but as you can see here, he just looks awesome from this angle. So it's nothing that bothers me at all. I love this piece still, so it's a great piece. And you can see here actually, even though we are focusing on his head, you can really see how his chest plate is lighting up here with the triangle thing here, and it looks amazing. It's a really nice light. It's very flush. You can't tell a bulb behind it. It's just almost a flat white all across, and that's really nice, I think. And I just love the pose here with his left arm raised in a shooting pose, I think you would call this. It just looks like something that is taken straight out of the movie. And I love the details also underneath his arm here. All these small things going on here. Those are some really nice details, I think. But yeah, I'm really happy so far with all of it. Of course it can be a little annoying with the minor flaw on the jaw here, but it doesn't really matter, I think. Alright, I'm gonna focus on his main body now, so just give me 2 seconds to zoom out. Alright, here we go. Now, there's really not much else to say here, because you have the same thing going on here. You have the red colors and you have the golden colors, and they are applied all over this area here, mainly the reds. And as you can see, the details and the paint application is pretty much the same all the way around. You have these black lines going on to highlight the crevices and details, also here. But other than that, it's the same deal all the way around. And I really like the golden area here. I find that this makes this armor really unique, because if you compare it to some of the other armors, it will look quite different in this area. But I'm gonna talk about the legs again when we focus on the base and the lower section. You have these golden areas here, which are adding some highlights and making some contrast, and they're actually difficult to notice, but when you look up close, it's really nice that they've added these gold sections here. Yeah, and of course you have his light up feature on his hand here, which is actually quite impressive. It's a rather harsh bulb. I mean, you can look straight into it for long before it starts annoying your eyes. So it's a really efficient light up feature that this piece comes with. And I've already covered the chest area with the light up there. Also, a thing that I like about the Mark VI is the chest piece here, because it's actually raised from the rest of the chest or the sculpt here. It's like a hood of a car or something like that. And it really gives you a sense of the power that this armor is packing, and I like that. Yeah, it's just a cool armor. Definitely one of my favorite armors. I would say that maybe the Mark VII, the armor that follows this one, which is introduced in the Avengers movie, that one is also pretty sick because it has these missile or ammo packs on the shoulders here, and it reintroduces the circular light on the chest, which is more iconic, I would say, than the triangular one. Although I haven't read the comic books, so I might be wrong. But I think that most of us, when we think of Iron Man, we think of a circular light on the chest. That would be my guess, anyways. And I think there's there's a minor flaw here on the paint application here. There's a black stroke going on top of the red here, but to be honest, it might actually just be battle damage or something. So it doesn't really matter because you hardly see it anyways. So yeah, so again, rather simple but looking nice, and the paint application is awesome. The deep red color here and the gold parts are they go well together and create this very, very convincing portrayal of the Mark VI armor. So yeah, I'm really liking it. Now let's look at the base, because the base is really huge and awesome, and yeah, the details on it are great. So let's have a look. Right guys, here we have the base. Now it's really impressive. I think you have a very detailed battle scene base here with parts of one of those droids that Iron Man and War Machine are fighting off in Iron Man 2. And it's just wrecked, and it's just lying here like a corpse or a carcass of a droid or something. But as you can see, the details are nice. You have this mossy green color here, which is probably it's probably from the scene where Iron Man and War Machine are together and they are fighting off, Mickey Rourke has his Whiplash armor. And yeah, the greenhouse scene, isn't it a greenhouse? I think it is, something like that, or recreational area, I don't know. But yeah, you have this green color, which adds a nice different theme to this statue, which is all metal, green, red and gold. So it's nice with a more earthen color, a more natural color on the base here. You have these muddy areas, which are actually rather gray. And all the details of the ground here, the rocks, the grass area, the mossy area, the battle, the armor here with the battle damage and all that, it's so detailed and it looks so nice, I think. I'm gonna turn it around. You can see I have it's probably not sharp. Anyways, you can see in the bottom here I have the cord plugged in, which is just your generic power cord that comes with various pieces that have light up functions. You have a dark black button here, which reminds me of a button that you would find on a normal lamp, which is a nice and solid construction, I think. And all the way around the base you have this black edge, which is just not piano black, but it's almost shiny and just adds a very neutral look, a serious and a nice finish for a fine piece like this, which comes straight out of the movies. I don't know, it just adds this museum quality to it, like you had taken a chunk out of the ground and put the statue on it, but not just a random chunk. You did a nice surgical cut, almost, you could say. and it just looks nice. And on the back, the black is covering all this side here, and it's just flat and forms to the base, the way the base is formed when looked from the top and down. So it's just flat and nice, I think, and I like the way they did this. And you have a lot of dirt and mud going on his feet here, on both of them, which is nicely applied. It actually really looks like real mud, you know, the kind that is really wet, almost like dirty water, and just splashed up here, and then it's just dried rather quickly, and then it's just making it look a lot dirty here. It looks nice, I think, and they did a great job here as well. And the legs again, this gold here looking nice, the red here looking equally as nice, and there's these areas here, the grey ones, which is his the joint here, which should be movable in the real, well, in the real life, if you could say it like that. But it looks really nice, and I'm really, well, if you want to see, if a piece is going to be a nice grail, maybe you often would look at the base and evaluate on it, because, well, Sideshow really makes a lot of effort puts a lot of effort into making these nice bases most of the time. And well, on the pieces that I really love, the base is also very nice and interesting to look at, because Sideshow doesn't just want to portray a character, they also want to portray the situation that the character is in, or the scene that they're in, and this is done best, I think, with a nice base like this. And it's massive, it's really huge, so it's just nice. Right, I'm gonna zoom out, and I'm gonna wrap this review up, so give me 2 seconds. Alright guys, so basically this is one of my definitely favorite pieces in my collection. Although I have Darth Talon, I have a lot of busts, and I have the Captain America premium format, this piece is just different to me because, well, you see it in many scenes from the movies, and to me it just adds a whole nother level when you can look at a movie and see the same thing on your shelf. And I love the character design, I love the armor design that they've done with the Iron Man movies, and well, I don't remember when the first Iron Man movie came out, I don't remember when the second one either came out, but I just feel like they are part of the way that I've gotten to learn Marvel, and for that reason it meant a lot to me to add this piece to my collection, and it definitely is one of those pieces that I will hardly ever get rid of, because this to me is just a very perfect statue that adds personal interest with nostalgia, with nice character design and a great Hollywood movie, and it just reminds me of how awesome Marvel are and how awesome they probably will be for a long time with all of their different movies. But yeah, so it's a really nice statue, and I can highly recommend getting him if you have the chance to. It's just so nice made, and it's made again by Legacy, who also did the designs and costumes for the movie, and so it's probably, if you want to get an authentic looking statue, this is probably your best bet, because there are many other companies making Iron Man stuff. There are Hot Toys, there are, I think, is it Kosobukiya or someone who also did some other scales of Iron Man statues. But this is the perfect one, I think. It's quarter scale, it's rather big again, it's just, well, the pose is perfect, I think, and it just really translates the message of Iron Man that we've gotten to learn from the movies well in this piece. I think it couldn't be much better. So right now I'm just waiting for the well, I'm waiting for Iron Patriot, the Maquette, also made by Legacy. I've ordered him already and will be getting him in what, a year or something. And I'm also waiting for Sideshow to fully reveal the Mark 42 armor that is the most iconic armor from Iron Man 3, which is One of those armors that has received a lot of, there's been a lot of discussion about it because it's more gold than it's red, and for that reason it almost turned the scale quite a lot. But I find it to look rather awesome, so I'm very excited at this point as to how the statue will look, and I hope it looks good. So I want to get him along with the Iron Patriot one, which I am getting. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review and found it useful. If you have any questions, as always, leave a comment and subscribe to my channel, like my videos, do all that things, you know. I would be very happy if you did that. Right, guys, that's it, guys, from me. Take care.